What's going on, everyone? This is Devin here from Anyone Outdoors. What we have here is yet another found piece of deadfall that I've kind of rested right in this Y setup here in this tree. And on the other side here, I just, with one single lash, have just done a square lash to this small sapling. Now, if we back up here, we have basically just a fairly short ridge line set up. This would be great to set up a very fast lean-to kind of situation, whether that be with a tarp or whether that be with natural material. I paced this out here. This is only about 7 feet wide from this sapling to the other tree. So for you guys that have these smaller type tarps, this would be a good option for like a 5x7. Now this ridge pole is set up to about 3.5, maybe just a little under 4 feet tall. So if you had a 5x7, it would be pretty vertical, but that would be potentially good for rain runoff, and it would really be better as far as functioning as a windbreak. Now this is a different angle from the back side of this, and this is actually where I would probably pitch the tarp, because there's too much growth on the other side there, but there is room to enter and exit a real quick temporary structure for sure. Now, while I would like to do longer form videos, I think the last handful of videos that I've done have been kind of interesting because I'm in a public city park. I'm not pretending that I'm out in the remote wilderness here. There are city ordinances here that prohibit the construction of anything that might be looked at as an overnight shelter. And you can't cut the wood here, so you can play with the sticks, but you can't cut the sticks, and you can't build shelters. So I come out here without any cutting tools of any kind, and it's been really interesting what I'm beginning to learn to put together straight off the forest floor. And I'm coming out here with nothing more than just a little cordage, and very quickly I've been able to learn how to put up these handy structural frames, I guess you could say. And I think to some extent this really goes back to day scouting. Every time you go out into the woods, you don't have to set up an overnight camp to learn a whole bunch of stuff. And at the end of all this, what the place that you want to find yourself is that you've done so many day scouts and so many small projects, and you've got this stuff down like the back of your hand, so that whenever it comes time for a true overnighter or maybe multiple days in the woods, you kind of have all this stuff down, and you're not running into these things for the first time, while you're going out on a longer term, camp situation. So to wind this stuff all up, go out and just play in the woods. I don't present anything on this channel as survival instruction. This is all just recreational, and I'm trying to show some stuff with a lot of flexibility built in. Again, you could go to a natural debris type shelter. You could use this as a good rigid support for a tarp, and eventually you could get into like these hybrid shelter type setups. And some of the channels that I like to watch the most, that's what I see, is a combination of natural material and a good outdoor quality tarp, and just see what you can do with what little you have. And that's it for the video. I always appreciate it whenever you guys stop by, and keep an eye out for the next one. See ya.